Hello， 大家好，这是说说男主皮埃尔第3期，也是从5个方面来了解一下他。第一，面对 Boris 他的善良；第二， Boris 走后，他理所当然的把他想成自己的好朋友。3、4、5呢是3种状态。第一种是面对强势的安娜，她像孩子一般的样子；第二种呢是置身阴谋却不自知，她是非常的疑惑，非常的不知所措，不知道怎么回事的一个表情。那么第5呢，就是在安娜帕夫诺夫的强力的助攻下，皮埃尔却有一些想要打退堂鼓，临阵脱逃。那我们就详细的来听一下吧。
Pierre smiled in his good-natured way, as if afraid for his companion's sake that the latter might say something he would afterwards regret. So Pierre is thinking ahead. Okay, so Boris already told him, okay, we don't know about any war, but we know about scandal, right? We know about scandal, we know gossip. In particular, we know about you, right? And we know what you did, right, in Petersburg. So what did Pierre do? He smiled in his good natural way to prevent maybe Boris from saying something that he might regret later.
Who regret?
Boris. Pierre, okay, so look. Boris talking to Pierre. He's saying, I don't know anything about the war. Okay? In Moscow, we only know about gossip, scandal. That's all we know. Okay? And then actually, we know about you. Because we've been talking about you and your father. So what did Pierre do at that point?
Companions, what does it mean?
This guy next to him, companion. Somebody who's
sick.
Sick, for his
Purpose.
Okay, you can think of side, okay, for his side, if you want.
Side, S-I-D-E.
Yeah. So for the companion side, from that so he's not thinking about himself, thinking about from you.
Oh, think about Boris.
Yeah.
That
the latter, the companion. No, it's not later, but latter. There's 2 people. He's talking about 2 people. The latter means the companion might say something he would afterwards regret.
He means Boris.
The latter, yes. Would after everything's talking about companion. The latter is a companion, and something that this is the same. The latter person, which is the companion, would afterwards regret.
So why Pierre is afraid for him?
Okay, so that's why that was the question I was asking you. Why? So Pierre doesn't care about his own. Obviously, he doesn't care about his own gossip and stuff. Doesn't react into that.
Okay.
But he's afraid that Boris might say something to him.
To Pierre.
That he might regret.
And Boris will regret. Oh,
yes.
I don't understand. You understand why Boris will regret? To something about you, Pierre. Pierre did some funny things we all know, right? We spread a scandal. So why Pierre feel you will regret what you said to me?
Yeah, because right now I'm being friendly to you.
Yeah.
If you say something that you're trying to make me look bad or something, you might regret that. Like, Boris may say, people say that you did some bad things in Petersburg. He may say that.
Okay.
To Pierre.
So Pierre already prepared for it, right?
No, he's preparing Boris. Make sure that he doesn't need to say those things.
He prepared Boris doesn't need to say.
Okay, if somebody, this is somebody new come in, okay?
Yeah.
Pierre is normally very friendly to people.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want this person to feel like bad about, because he's a new person. He doesn't want that person to necessarily make the relationship bad right away.
Okay.
Because this young person might say something that will ruin the relationship. So Pierre's trying to prepare that, just smiling. You don't have to say something you don't want to make me feel bad or whatever, so that our relationship is not compromised. But Boris spoke distinctly, clearly, and dryly, looking straight into Pierre's eyes. So he doesn't even care, right? Boris doesn't care about that. He says, Moscow has nothing else to do but gossip.
Good recommendation.
Okay. As often happens in early youth, especially to one who leads a lonely life. This happens when you're young, to somebody who leads a lonely life, okay?
This happened to in early young And to who leads a lonely life?
Yeah, something like
It's happened to who? Who leads a lonely life?
We don't know what happens, right? So I'm just saying that something happens in early use to somebody who normally has a lonely life. That's all it says.
Oh, to somebody.
Now we're going to figure out what often happens.
And who is who?
Yeah, we'll figure out who is who. He, now we know the who is he. Is Pierre. He felt an unaccountable tenderness for this young man and made up his mind that they would be friends. So he had a unaccountable, means you cannot count the reason.
Yeah.
So he actually doesn't have a good reason. That's what it means,
Okay.
unaccountable.
Yeah.
You cannot count.
Yeah.
So there's no really reason for him. But he felt an unaccountable tenderness. Tenderness means that I don't treat something harshly. I treat somebody tenderly, okay, for this young man. So who knows why? But he just felt,
Just a feeling.
yeah, whatever. And so he made up his mind. He decided that they would become friends. So he's going to become friends with Boris.
Oh no, I understand. Because in Pierre's early youth, he's very lonely.
He's saying that he's saying that Pierre is a young man, and for many young men, for many young people, especially for young and lonely people, those type of people often find some other young people who they can be friends with.
Oh, this means Pierre have a lonely life.
Yes. Assuming a soft, high tone of voice. Come here, my friend. And she ominously tucked her sleeves up higher. Pierre approached, looking at her in a childlike way through his spectacles. So Prince Vasily was scared, and this princess was so
Unusual.
yeah, they're both very unusual. That Pierre stopped and glanced inquiring over his spectacles at his guide.
What at his guide mean?
At Anna, look at it, Anna. What's going on? He's just what's going on.
So Pierre like to have the inquiring.
Yeah. But be a man. But really, hadn't I better go away? He asked, looking kindly at her over his spectacles.